anywhere. And so who knows whether it's entirely philanthropic or not. I don't know. But certainly in the United States, Ellison is committed to this idea for his company to make commercial profit.
There's kind of two aspects to this, aren't there? There's the potential for conflicts of interest, and I think it would make people a bit uneasy to feel like a formally democratically elected politician is now swimming in so much money, part of which is being donated by companies that clearly have an agenda. People might be uncomfortable with that. And then separately, there's the sort of worldview that perhaps both Larry Ellison and Tony Blair share, which is that there are centralized technology solutions to many of our problems, and the more data can be aggregated to the center, the better, and that will make things more efficient to solve. But in terms of civil liberties, in terms of what the future looks like, to a lot of people that feels a bit dystopian.
Absolutely. I think anyone who gets close to Tony Blair will tell you that he is a kind of utopian tech futurist. He believes tech is the future. It's the thing that the British government is just not on top of. It's almost no Western state is using it properly.
Yeah, but they are doing because it's allowed to be there. It's here, and the tech companies have made it and sold it, and we're using it, and therefore it's fulfilling its complete and total absolute purpose. That's why my YouTube channel's not up, because it got taken down, even though I didn't break any rule. I got a severe strike, which it was impossible for me to get a severe strike, yet I got one. And it's a political channel which is meant to have immunities and protection, which they're completely ignoring me. I can't get contact with them properly. You can't really speak to a person properly who's in the legal department. They're also getting people to block each other and ban each other over very, very growing whimsical things, over the slightest, even if they just basically don't like you effectively. And that's in the business sector through, selling and trading. They're, on Fiverr site, they haven't put a stop to it, basically. There's no way to enforce any standards. It's how they want it. They've got policies that say they can do pretty much what they want. These big companies have been getting immunities, but they're not giving us our political immunities or rights. Things are getting mysteriously removed or taken down. We can't really get any explanation. And as I said, this kind of block ban culture is it is got antisocial tones to it. There's a lot of social conduct going on, but everyone is talking each other down all the time. So you can't even use this full expression of being human. The theatre, sadness, anger is celebrated in the theatre. People go to watch a show, an act, to see the celebration, the firework display of the emotions, dun dun dun. But then once you go onto Facebook now, all the admins are, be polite to each other, be gentle, blah blah blah, And when you do get into a debate, it never really gets fully debated out to the finish, because people are shutting it down, and now we're even arguing over whether there are any rights or not. I think Blair's utopian, they call it utopian, but what is that utopia? It's a certain people's idea of what things should be like and how they should run most effectively to achieve a certain goal. You could say that, what's to say that if we didn't have any, technology, and if people were just getting up and not spending the time making excessive things that we didn't need or for a profit, we only made what we needed or wanted, and people were engaging in enjoying life, quality relationships and life through, the hours of the day, right? That's the time, if that's your utopia, but we're not. And no one's actually, that's the biggest lie out of that earlier statement, or well, it's not his statement. He was actually, making a statement about someone else. But the thing is, right, the word future utopia seems to give the connotation of technology being required for it. You can have a utopia. There might never have been a utopia because of the bad things that were happening. You could eradicate bad things that are happening, so you have a world which is a utopia where lots of nice, happy or good things are happening, or less bad things, without tech, merely by, relationship, education, talking more, not having truncheons and handcuffs in prisons, but having diplomats and caring people and more community, understanding, and not using resources to make any form of excess. So that means people aren't having to be held in labour for the majority of the day. They're only having to do the labour that is necessarily needed to keep things clean and make what you need to replace it when it's worn or whatever. That could be a utopia, having, fruitful bounties of Eden gardens outside that are naturally grown and not growing the right things and not with toxins and chemicals in, and dancing in the evenings to fairy lights, right? You could have that utopia. I tend to think that if we went to a planet and found that utopia and landed in one of Blair's rocket ships that had lasers fitted to the front of it, and it had no tech on it whatsoever, I get the feeling that rather than come back to Earth and tell everyone about this amazing utopia place that didn't have any technology, that everything was going perfectly, and they were having a blast of a time without even needing to leave their planet, that Blair would either blow it straight up, hide it from us and not tell us, or try and take over it and get them all working for him to make more tech. The future utopia line, the future utopia moniker actually means we're going to make a future civilization which is technologically advanced, so it has a greater capacity to go beyond utopia. Because remember, you can't use the word utopia, which is claiming to mean a perfect world or a better world or some sort of perfect planet or world, because all of the tech seems to be aiming to leave the planet or go beyond the planet. You don't need to do space exploration for a utopia. You don't actually need to make any new inventions or new further advancements in any technology to have a utopia, because all an utopia needs is to correct problems or reduce problems. You don't necessarily need technology to reduce or remove problems, right, and increase happiness, right? You only actually need technology. In fact, you can have, right, when someone creates a song and sings it, or a band plays live, you've made music, right? Now, you can have the band playing, wherever you want live, if they like playing music. The records and the CD, none of those are necessary for a utopia. If everyone, you could say, right, we'll train everyone, why don't we at school encourage everyone to be music and come out with 3 songs out of school, their own unique songs? That's competitive, right? So every single person had 3 songs. That would be amazing. And we'll teach them to sing or play instruments. So wherever you are, no matter where you are around the world, 3 people in the room, it's like I'm on a plane. Oh, there's an emergency. Is there a doctor on the plane? Right? Play some music, John. Let's hear all, whenever you travel and you go to a new place, some music that I've never heard before. This is amazing, right? You don't need to record it on vinyl or on a cassette or on a CD, right? But what we actually get is It's like, in fact, wouldn't it be more of a utopia if merely you actually taught music, concentrated on music more at school, so everyone was had their own songs, or even if they're terrible, or could somehow play an instrument, and then no matter where you are and what you do, maybe you have to make more instruments then, but you could have a set of instruments, in every pub could have a set of instruments, and then whoever's in there could get the instruments set out and let's hear your songs, right? That would actually reduce the amount of instruments that would need to be made, right? Because not every person has an instrument then, because they use the instruments at school, and then every pub has the pub's instruments. So then you'd need to make less instruments, right? So the instrument companies, all the people don't have to work in the instrument factory all day, right? Knocking out instruments for everyone, right? Because they learned at school, and then if you go to a venue or somewhere, or they could even share them or borrow them, right? Rather than for the entirety of the universe, it's Elton John and A Candle in the Window. Play it again, Sam. Let's get the vinyl out, and again, shut to the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. It's Bon Jovi. Get the Bon Jovi records out again and again. It's Ken Bruce on the radio, and again. Oh, play it again, Sam. It's Radio 2. Guess what's on next? Oh, it's Status Quo. Unbelievable. If the eternity of the universe, the utopia of the same old tune. But this is the thing. Blair wants to scrap the same old tune. That's what Blair wants to do. Blair doesn't want same old tune, and he doesn't want even same old tune with glitches taken out of the record. You can have a utopian record where there's no glitches in it, there's no crackling. Now the CD player, now we've really made a utopia out of the music. The crystal clear, the sound, but I went to hear them live, and it didn't sound anything like that. Well, that's the studio version that everyone hears repeatedly over and over. The utopian studio version of Pink Floyd, eternally recorded on a disc, on a laser disc, Play it again, Tony. The utopian disc, always on a disc. Play it again, Tony. The utopian. When you get back to it, where did that song come from? Where did that music come from? Came from humans and people who played it, and, they played live. And it might be a little bit different each time, or everyone having different songs. Wow, this is exotic new music I've never heard before. We're on holiday in Hawaii, and I've never heard this before. That's why I'm here, to hear something different, all these bright, brilliant new people. But that's not actually how they've been doing it. What they did is they made millions from the same old recording, and people had to make it, and loads of people spent money on it, buying it, and then you drive around in your cars listening to the same old record again, rather than people singing, there's some different people in the minibus now we'll sing a different song, Come By Army Lord, but so come on then, let's hear some different music, some real people singing, well, we've got Android Woman, loading Laserdisc 63, 4 of Elton John's collection. He's a pinball wizard, same old song again. Pinball wizard playing into the edge of the galaxy. Why are you going into the edge of the galaxy? To explore, to find something new. What? Like all those different songs they could have all sung at the schools and not had to listen to Elton John again on the Laserdisc. Play it again, Elton. This is the thing. We're going to find some new planets and some new materials, some new inventions, with Laserdisc Woman, because all the people are dead. They died, Well, actually, while we're here and while we are alive, why don't we just, sing songs and stop making vinyl records? This is the thing. There is a strong opposition argument. It's not anti-evolutionary. You don't have to be anti-evolutionary or anti-tech, right? But, on Star Trek, right, when Kirk got his device out, right, he pulled it out of his pocket, he flicked it open, he's like, okay, beam me up, Scotty, and that's it. He didn't have to get his phone out. He didn't have to put his, fingerprint code in, security code. Open phone. Oh, it's flipped open now. Now I put my fingerprint on it. Oh, scan my eyeball on it. 20 seconds later. Oh, I've been shot by a Klingon. By the time I've put my fucking fingerprint fucking in my phone with the fucking eyeball scan. No, none of that shit. Not even the fucking eyeball scan. Pulls it out of his pocket, whips it out. Oh, look, it's Picard. He just taps his fucking button on his chest. Beep, 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 beep. This is it. Beam me up, Blair. One to beam up, Blair. Hello, Tony. One to beam up. The planet's burning. We're on Genesis, Blair. The planet's burning. Hawaii's burning. One to beam up, Blair. Oh, it's not working. It's not working. But there must be something wrong with it. Oh, he's put the phone down on me. Oh, Blair's put the phone down on me. He's not beaming me up. One to beam up, Blair. No, he's not beaming us up. I have to scan my eyeball first. No, what the thing with the model for the Enterprise is that they all get along with each other and they all follow commands. But in a utopia, wouldn't it be better if you didn't need to have ranking officers and commanders and Picard, if everyone was equal, and people want it to be nice, not people threatening to block them or ban them or they're just, why are you angry? It's the empath. Well, just let me get my empath. It's Spock. Would you like to do the mind meld and see why she's being troubled? Come sit down here with my empath and we'll talk through these problems. No one's getting banned or blocked from anywhere. We need to find out what the troubles are with this human. What are your troubles, human? Let's talk through this. I understand. I'll be your Jordan Peterson, your shrink. This is it. Not like, Starfleet Commander, you are blocked. We'll give you the fucking harsh treatment. No, it's YouTube. 3 strikes and you'll remove your channel. No, I'll come and have a talk with you. Send our empath round. We'll talk about these videos and see if we can kind of sort this out and get you back on air and get the channel back up running. Yes, well, I'm running against Tony Blair, but I've been pushing my communicator and he's not beaming me up. He put the phone down on me. This is it. It's actually not utopia. All of these devices and tech we're doing, right? What is the reason? Security cameras, reason. Oh, is it A? Some authoritarian regime wants to be able to see what everyone's doing. Note that with all these security cameras in anywhere, can you see what everyone's doing with them? No. With all this new money pumped into the new security cameras on every street corner, can you see what's going on? Is it like Google Maps? Or someone can. Oh, it's classified. Can we see what Tony's up to? Well, this guy's telling us what he's up to. But this is it. Who is it for? New robot police. Who's that for? Oh, it's for us. Well, it's not for the person who it's jumping on and shredding to pieces. This is it. It tasers. Multiple people have died. A guy died in Atlanta the other day from Stop Cop City. Shot by taser, killed. Police weapon. Was that a good idea? Really? We're not going in the empathy route. In fact, if we'd have been making good progress with, humanity, human beings, then we wouldn't need any of these things. Handcuffs, security cameras, truncheons, any of those things. We won't need any of them. People are so dumb to reverse now. They're so brain fogged out with the food that they can't even reverse backwards properly. Look at Biden on the stage, the model. Traveling is enjoyment. I don't think it's a utopia when you are sat on a train and you are staring at a laptop watching fucking Blair give a speech on your train journey. Don't you want to know your country? Look at the places you're passing out of the window. Don't look at that. It's all been demolished. What is there to see? Nothing to see here. When you travel the length of the country, don't you want to see it? See the people, see the country. I've never been through these places before. It's like, beam me up to Glasgow. I need to talk to Blair to have a for a meeting for 5 minutes. Now I need to take a pee. Just a minute. Oh, I don't need to go to the toilet. I've got my materializer pants on, which can absorb my pee as it comes out and conveniently send it, outside or wherever. It doesn't add up. It's almost like, if you don't want to look out of the train window, or, don't want to talk to a human on the train, or even have, sit in the quiet cab or whatever, like the library fucking carriage, and not have any next stop, or not, don't stop, keep on buying, keep on shopping, keep on moving, don't stop, keep on buying, next stop, don't stop buying, next stop, supermarket, next stop, go and buy it, don't stop, go and buy it, this is it. It's not a utopia to be staring at screens of holographic stuff. It's novel technologies, for sure, they're novel, but whether they're good or not, that's the thing with Zuckerberg when his novel technologies. They might be novel, but are they really needed? Are they necessary? Are they kind of like faddish? Are they, just pointless? They might be novel. This is the thing. A fucking a box of Quality Streets is fucking novel, each one in them. But was there any point in having all those different chocolates, Why do you have to have the cream fucking chocolate fudge with the fucking strawberry, crispy bits in it, when chocolate really is, there's no point. We should be eating, natural foods. I think that it's the human ideas, and there are a lot of bad ideas, but there are also a lot of bad ideas that they've actually already started to do, on a very wide scale. The whole London is evidence, that whole tube thing and people not talking to each other. London is an example, and I don't think Jeremy Corbyn will like this, but London is a failed city, really. They're having to completely and totally correct major mistakes with the environment, major mistakes, and even charge people. I don't think it's very social on the travel compared to other parts of the country, and now it's getting worse with all what we've been through. It's not going towards utopia at all. It's all about tech. It's all about technology, and the technology, if you look at it, it isn't there to help the actual people. It's there for them to classify us. The whole medical argument is, I believe that they want everyone completely profiled, and that they start picking people out. And if you're not in alignment or like what's going on, if you choose to be in a protest group or political party that's not aligned, you either have to be, we'll have to change his mind for him then, won't we? Or you are deemed as, to be taken out or removed. That's the way I think it's going. And I've always thought, with me, there's some sort of malevolent force. It's not just coincidence. There's been a malevolent force intervening with dastardly interventions, even intervening in, I think that, I've had my phone cut off when I definitely dialed my home phone, and it displayed the home phone, and it went through to a dodgy number on my birthday, and I had to sleep rough on the way home, so I couldn't get a lift. And that there was no doubt about that. There was no other number stored in there. I checked it, and it was a third party intervention. And I think the same with the speed cameras. The exact time I've got a new girlfriend, everything's going right. It's like fox hunting. Unfortunately, the whole Windsor legacy of the Imperials is like a fox hunting programme, and luckily they've got the Labour Party dogs to sit on you if you might be opposed to their, two-party system. They got the dogs to sit on you, and that's not insulting Labour by any means. Although the Labour Party is what went wrong with this country. We could have had scientists, universities, all that, before, but without this Labour Party, the invention of Labour Party is what created everything that is wrong with all the cities, everything that's wrong with the environment, the whole thing, because of greed. The thing with technology and utopia is you don't want to rush into things, and they're saying that everything's been accelerating quicker and quicker and quicker now. Don't you think that might be the actual problem, that we've been going into it too quickly before we think about it, which is why London's got into a mess and now it's got to have low emission zones and all that. If you'd have thought it through first and not rushed, but they're telling us not to rush, but, they're really wanting to push all this digital ID and passport, and they've got to get it on now, because with the communication that's evolved, we're in a position to do something about it and change the course of it. I'm not behind Blair at all. If he'd have been doing any good to any of these other governments or countries, then, he'd have been helping them be independent or be, not the, puppets of, these shadow courts that are suing them all if they don't do what they're told. And that's the problem. They're actually assimilating these governments. It's very sinister. The fact that Tony Blair's getting paid to tell them what to do as well, consultancy. He's getting paid literally millions for... I mean, how could you have a better job? You're actually being literally, telling them, how to do things and what they should do, and you're getting paid for it. And then with that money, when you've already told them what to do and how to do it, and then you're using it to, go to other countries and tell them what to do and how to do it. The ones that you didn't get paid for free. It's not competitive at all whatsoever.